Have you ever waited for the perfect day to begin something? You tell yourself, I'll start when I have time, when I feel motivated, when everything is right. But days pass, weeks pass, life passes, and nothing changes. This is the story of a young potter who lived exactly like that, until one moment changed his life forever. Once upon a time, in a quiet valley surrounded by tall cedar trees and cool morning winds, there lived a young potter named Arin. Arin was talented, more talented than anyone in his village. His hands could shape clay into perfect bowls, beautiful jars, and elegant vases. People often said, Arin could become the greatest potter in the kingdom. But Arin had a problem. He was always waiting. Waiting for the right mood, waiting for the right inspiration, waiting for the perfect day to start working. Every morning he would sit outside his workshop sipping warm herbal tea, watching the sun rise over the mountains. I'll start later, he'd say. Maybe in the afternoon or tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow will be better. So the clay dried, the orders piled up, and Arin's dreams stayed dreams. One day his childhood friend Mira visited him. She looked around at the unfinished pots, the cracked clay, and the dusty wheels. Arin, she said gently, you are gifted, but gifts mean nothing if you don't use them. Arin laughed softly. I just need the right moment. Mira sighed. Arin, perfect moments don't come. We create them. Her words stung, but Arin brushed them aside. Weeks passed. Villagers complained about late orders. Some even stopped coming to him. Still, Arin waited for the perfect day. Then came a stormy night. The wind howled, rain hammered the rooftops. Arin couldn't sleep. He stared at his dusty wheel and whispered, how did I become like this? How did a dream become fear of effort? Just then there was a knock on his door. An old man entered, drenched in the rain. He wore a simple robe, but his presence was powerful. I am Master Kale, he said. I was once the royal potter. I've heard of your talent. Arin's eyes widened. Kale looked around at the abandoned tools and said, talent is clay. It means nothing unless you shape it. Arin swallowed. The master placed a small lump of clay in Arin's hands. Do you know the secret of great potters? Arin shook his head. Kale smiled. We don't wait for perfect days. We start with imperfect ones. We show up even when our heart doesn't want to. Discipline is the wheel that shapes life. He tapped Arin's hand gently. Start for 5 minutes, just 5. Then let the wheel carry you. And with that, he walked back out into the rain. The next morning, Arin tried. His hands felt stiff, his body felt tired. His mind wanted to stop. But he remembered Kale's words. 5 minutes. So he worked for 5 minutes, then 10, then 20. By sunset, he had shaped a small bowl. Simple, imperfect, but complete. The next day was harder. His back hurt and the warm bed tempted him. But he whispered, just 5 minutes. And the wheel began spinning again. Days turned into weeks. Arin's hands became stronger, his movements smoother. The clay obeyed his touch. Villagers noticed. A woman gasped when Arin handed her a perfectly shaped water jar. Children watched him work with wide eyes. Even Mira smiled proudly whenever she passed his workshop. And slowly, Arin began to love the work he once avoided. Months later, Master Kale returned. He looked at the shelves, lined with shining pots, flawless vases, and beautifully carved bowls. Kale nodded with satisfaction. Do you see now? He said. Arin smiled warmly. Yes, it was never about motivation. It was about showing up, one small step at a time. Kale placed a hand on his shoulder. Greatness is not born from perfect days. It is born from disciplined ones. Arin's lesson became a legend in the valley. People still tell his story, a reminder that you don't need the perfect moment to begin. You only need the courage to start for 5 minutes. Because action builds momentum. Momentum builds discipline. And discipline builds a life worth living.